Everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Mark, No Original Stories, aka Power Made Flesh. Today I want to talk about Drake, and being so that is the year of the dragon. I knew at the beginning of this year that this guy would be on the world stage. We've seen a lot of characters who on the world stage related to the dragon this year, from Puff Daddy, Puff the Magic Dragon, and the dragon's zodiac rival or zodiac attribute would also be the monkey. So you see the Monkey King and the dragon often associated, like Godzilla X Kong. A lot of Monkey King activity going on this year with the Monkey Man movie, Planet of the Apes coming out. And with Drake being the dragon, Puff Daddy kind of being a play on both the dragon, Puff the Magic Dragon, and Diddy Kong, or Puff Diddy Kong. Diddy is another name that Puff Daddy has. It's just funny that these characters are all being on the world stage, and people think that what's going on with them is organic. And it's almost like this is a calling card, that this is their time for them to be used, whether as a distraction, as some type of event for social programming. Who knows? Who cares? Their idea is knowing that with the Sky game that's going on, you can know which characters are going to be on the stage this year. The dragon is also heavily associated with bridges, as we've seen, also with earthquakes, even electricity in the grid, currents. So currency, electricity, all these kind of things you can be looking forward to in the year of the dragon. And then also a tower or castle is something that the dragon is associated with. So we see Drake on the world stage now, and he has this pre-scripted, it seems like, rap issue going on with Kendrick Lamar. And Ken is a name that I see always associated with the North Star, like Fist of the North Star, Kenshiro. In Street Fighter, you have Ryu, who's the dragon, and Ken, who's the Fist of the North Star. Firestar is also another way of saying North Star. When I say North Star, I'm talking about Polaris, the North Star. A lot of our characters on the world stage, as of recent, are all Polaris-type characters, where they're charlatans, where you know they have hard stances on one thing and then loose stances on others, like a pimp. A pimp would be a character that's a pole star character. That's why they're always carrying a pole, or a North Star character. You see the cat is also heavily associated with the dragon. And our year started off with Cat, Cat Williams. And now we have the Duchess, Kate, also kind of name that's associated with the North Star. And the dragon, and the cat and the dragon are also just associated, just like the monkey and the dragon. But now we have Drake going on, and this year I knew he was going to be used. I saw his name kind of brewing up. I think it started this year when he had this thing kind of going on with Bobby, and Bobby's a play on the word Robert. Bobby and Robert is a play on the concept of rabbit, so you have from the year of the rabbit to Drake the dragon. But one thing that stood out about Drake this year with me was the beginning of this year, Mos Def, I think his name is also Yasin Bey of Black Star. And just a side note, whenever you have these rappers, all rappers are playing the Sky game where they're named after something in the sky, like the Dog Star rappers like DMX, right? And that X is associated with Polaris, the North Star, having to do with the North and South poles. And then also the magnetic North and South poles, just like the Twitter symbol, right? And these kind of Polaris characters are also like, bipolar, not necessarily in their behavior, but sometimes in their stances, where DMX is, a street thug, but also he has morals that are upstanding to some people, But with that being said, we also had Kanye being associated with Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, the bear. That's why his album was often represented by the bear, and his daughter named North, the North Star. And, if you think these characters aren't named after the sky, you should look into the myths and constellations and stories about the sky, and to see what these names line up, you'll see that, Puff the Magic Dragon is associated with the Draco constellation, just like Drake. And Bad Boy is often associated with the dragon. Like we have G-Dragon in a K-pop group, right? And he has a song called Bad Boy. The Bad Boy is always associated with the dragon. But then also we have Cassiopeia, which is P. Diddy's or Puff Daddy's girlfriend in the past was also Cassie, not by coincidence. They're named after constellations. And when you understand what time of the sky we're in, you can see the games that's being played when they're put on the world stage to do things. And these things that they do either cause distractions or buzzing or social programming. So now we have Drake battling with Kendrick Lamar. I think also Metro Boomin, Future. This doesn't even seem like an organic issue, but people think it is, and I'm always interested in seeing that. Oh, it's such a sky game that's going on with these characters. In the beginning of the year, it started off with Mos Def and Drake going back and forth, and there was interesting dates. I think the date that Mos Def said something first, or Drake said something first, was on 113 in verse 311, and then the response was on 119 in verse 911. And Mos Def is an interesting character because he's very smart, very articulate, a good actor, and him and a character like what's this one rapper, Tyler, the Creator, they kind of come off with like this Curious George monkey look, right? And forget any preconception you might be thinking when I'm telling you about racism. What I'm trying to tell you is the characters are also associated with roles based off of their appearance, not by coincidence. To give you an example of this, you have Kanye. He looks like the bear, right? He looks like a teddy bear, right? Same thing with like Jonathan Majors. Not by coincidence, his name is a play on like the Ursa Majors. And this is why he's always carrying a cup like the Big Dipper. But now we have the beginning of the year started off with Drake and Mos Def going back and forth, and you have, Drake being the dragon, and then Mos Def being a play kind of like on the Monkey King, right? Not by coincidence. I think that was kind of spark off this year of Drake, because I think we're going to see some big things with Drake this year. Either he become dethroned or, inorganic rise to the highest level that we've ever seen him, and those who know can just say this was all scripted. But anyway, that just being said, I want you to just pay attention to Drake this year. His calling card's up. It's the year of the dragon, and we already see the setup kind of being made. And I think last year, him and J. Cole released the video, and J. Cole, funny, is a play on the JC, Jesus Christ initials, right? Him and J. Cole had a video last year, and it was a cryptic video, but it looks like Drake was about to become immortalized at the end, like he's on a roof and there's a statue going up like Michael Jackson. So it'll be interesting to pay attention. Just with that being said, I don't really have too much more other than to mention that, the year of the dragon, Drake's calling card is being pulled, not by coincidence. And it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. The same thing with Puff Daddy or P. Diddy. And P. Diddy is an interesting character because he has the name John in his name. John's associated with Mercury. Like any big court case in our country or anything that's going to change or sway the minds of the public, you can find a John associated with it. O.J. Simpson trial, Johnny Cochran, Johnny Depp, Jonathan Majors. These are all trials that really shouldn't be on TV, but are being broadcasted for you to see to start to shape your mind. And the same thing with the Sean John now. We have Sean John and Puff Daddy. And I'll break down Puff Daddy in another video because there's a lot of interesting things around him and Bad Boy that are cryptic about the sky. But for this video, I just kind of wanted to highlight that it's the year of the dragon and the dragon rappers are being pulled, but you'll also see Monkey King characters as well being pulled. And sometimes a character might not necessarily be a Monkey King character, but have references to the Monkey King or in their appearance or look. But also cats you should be looking for, like Doja Cat, that kind of thing. And, just think about, we had Lizzo this year already. Now Drake, now Puff Daddy. It'll be interesting to see. With that being said, my work is to let you know that there's a sky game being played in our world. Characters and stories that we told, including our historical narrative, are a retelling of the stars, where either we are influencing the stars or the stars are influencing us, or both. I like to explore that on this channel. And with that being the year of the dragon, Drake's card is up. I'll see you in the next video.